Revelation 1483. From the 21st of June 1940. Force of nature. Elemental power. Recognition of the deity. There are forces active between heaven and earth, which express themselves in such a way that this appears visibly to people. And therefore these forces cannot be denied. But one is not able to specify them with only intellectual thinking. One is confronted with an elementary force whose cause cannot be determined, and one is therefore content with the word natural force for all those processes which are visible to man, but cannot be explained. These forces can also not be explained to the people who do not try to penetrate into the spiritual kingdom, because everything earthbound cannot accept an explanation about it and cannot understand it. The visible expression of will of the divine creator is natural power. Natural power is something conditioned in itself. It is cause and effect at the same time. It is a power expression of the eternal divinity unimaginable for human concepts. The power of nature is the work of God visible to man. It is the proof of an incessantly active entity, which awakens to life, forms and shapes in its own power perfection. And this expression of power is at the same time a means to inform the imperfect being of the existence of a deity, because the being is confronted with an activity which is inexplicable to him and which presupposes a most perfect being. It exceeds human working abilities, is therefore also not humanly explicable, since it is founded in forces which are inscrutable for human understanding. However, God's expression of power is taken for granted by people and does not always lead to the knowledge of a God being, and elemental forces are not able to convince people of a being who is their creator. Neither the coming into being by this power, nor the passing away by natural elements announces to them a creator, to whom love, wisdom and omnipotence are inherent. Man accepts the results of an acting being indifferently, but at the same time denying the being itself, whether also obviously the knowledge of such a being is brought near to him. He denies it. He believes himself close to the truth, if he regards everything around him as self-acting and constantly repeating transformation of what is apparent to him as nature. He will therefore never be able to deny an exceedingly wisely regulated activity in everything what he sees around him, but is not willing to recognize this activity as an expression of a deity, because this appears to him as an entity, simply unacceptable, but he will never be able to give himself a satisfying explanation about that what has arisen around man without the earthly intervention. He will indeed brood, but if he denies the eternal Godhead, he will never be able to get an answer to his brooding questions, because to be able to claim a power, this power must first be recognized. But the denial of this power excludes recognition, because what is not recognized, cannot make itself known. A more convincing proof of his existence than the creation, God can never give to mankind, but who does not want to recognize the wise Creator in the creation? His spirit is not receptive, and he must therefore be left to continue in error. God cannot reveal himself to him, and he will walk along in darkness, and the eternal Godhead will remain an unimaginable concept to him. Amen.